Hey everybody, welcome to our Sunday night Zoom call, and we have kind of a little bit different twist on things. Sometimes we have people who have been on program a while and lost a whole bunch of weight already, and today we have a speaker who has been on program just 1 week and has had some pretty outstanding results already. And then I'm going to have another speaker who just lost a little bit of weight in some people's world, although probably meant a lot of weight to you or to her. So without any further ado, I'm going to have Kaylin introduce Tia to us. And so Kaylin, take it away.
Sure. All right. Well, I am honored. Hi, I'm Kaylin Davis. I'm in good old Northeast Ohio for all of you across the country here. This is what I love about our group because we are everywhere. Turns out, guys, if you drink water and eat protein carb balance meals every couple hours, we all can get healthy no matter where we are. So anyway, so I love what I do as a coach because this is how I get to meet really awesome people. And Tia was a referral from one of my best friends, one of my college best friends, who she got to witness him melt away. So she knew obviously something worked. And so anyway, she just is, her energy is contagious, as you will see. And she's been posting these amazing meals. I definitely want to be coming over for dinner at some point, with all these exciting things. So, anyway, this is Tia. This has been her first week on, and can't wait to hear, give us some feedback, girl, and some insight on how you're having such successful days. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kaylin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tia, and I am a 36-year-old single mom. And I witnessed my friend completely just melt away, and he did it. He did it, and I even joined the Commit to Fit. I was invited to the page for over a year, and saw the post and everything, and did not want to commit to be fit. So I denied it. I said this stuff he had to do something else. He had to work out vigorously. He had to do something else. It can't just be this. So a week ago, I decided to say I'm going to try it. So I contacted Kaylin and ordered my food. And when this box came, I was so excited. But then I looked and I was like, this little stuff, this is not gonna fill me up. Not from what I've been eating. I know how I ate prior to. And I said, of course I'm gonna lose weight with stuff from a box. But what I found out was the stuff from the box, I feel like I'm eating all day long. Like I throw 5 things in my purse, and I feel like, and I set my alarm every 2 hours, and when it goes off, I just grab something out of my bag. But what I figured out is people around me were still eating these other unhealthy foods and things that I still liked, and I don't like being told that I can't have something. So when you can't have you can't have tacos, you can't have burgers. I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out a way to use what I'm shopping for in my refrigerator and pantry, and I'm going to use that and turn it into something that looks and tastes like what I'm used to. So I like tacos, and I found a recipe on Pinterest for fish tacos, and then I saw the recipe for cauliflower taco shells. So I said, that fits perfectly. So I measured out my fish, I used the cauliflower taco shells, and just made it into something that fit within the lean and green meal. That's really all that I'm doing. The same with pasta. I'm a pasta junkie. And so when I decided to say I wanted pasta, I had to find something that looked and tasted like the pasta I was used to. That's where the cauliflower Alfredo sauce came in. And then I used my veggetti to make some noodles. And I felt like I was at Olive Garden, just like my family would be. So I really kind of focus on the lean and green. On the lean and green meal, knowing that that's my time to have the food that I want. I love the bars. I haven't met a bar I don't like yet. I like the I like the ziti. I love the tomato soup. It makes me feel like I'm just having a soup for lunch, which I would do, but a canned soup is so high in sodium and calories, so it still feels like I'm having soup. But so I like to feel like I'm like everybody else, but in secret I'm really not. And in the meantime, I'm losing weight as I do it. So I don't know if that all makes sense.
Tia, where were we at? Where are you at today, you said?
Today, this is day 10, and I've lost 14.6 pounds.
Woo!
Good girl. Good
yeah,
girl.
and I know, and I talked with Kaylin today, and I know it's going to slow down, and I understand that, but I told Kaylin today, I don't care if it's 1 pound. I'm celebrating that pound because it's a pound away from where I know I will never, ever, ever be again. So, and this is something that I know I can keep up with myself. And I think it was just kind of trying to prove it to myself that this can work. So for anybody out there who is doubting, I am a regular person. I'm not a model or a paid TV person, but it can work, and you can eat regular things that taste good.
We're paying her to say this.
I wish it would. If it was paid, it would have been scripted, guys. I'm telling you, I'm speaking just straight off of the top of my head. It's just amazing what has happened and how I feel. The way that I feel is totally different. Totally different.
So talk about that.
I'm very thankful.
So tell me, Tia, how you were feeling before you got started, and how do you feel now?
Well, I recently was told that I had that I have osteoarthritis in my hips and my knees, and that surgery is probably going to be in my so that's very shocking for me. And I knew that weight that the putting on my lower body, that's what it has to be. And so the doctor said, of course you can lose weight. That'll help tremendously. He didn't stress it though. And I knew in my heart that that's what I needed to do. So I'm telling you, probably about day 3, I felt a complete difference. I'm not a big sleeper. It made me go to sleep. It said, Tia, you've used all of the energy that you've taken into your body. And it said, you have to go to sleep because you're drained. You don't have any energy left. You've used it all. So then I knew I set a bar by my bed in the morning with a bottle of water, and I chug the water first thing in the morning and then eat my bar. And so but it made me feel like I knew I was doing something that was right because I wasn't sleeping well. My energy was low. I'm glad to know that my energy is low now because I'm using what I'm eating. And so that's a very good thing. And like I said, I want to tell, at first I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm doing this. I'm just not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to start it because I was doubtful. And so now it's like, I want to tell everybody and their mom because it's crazy for you to be unhealthy when there's ways to do it and still eat some of the things that you truly enjoy.
Right. Well, and Tia, and how's your hunger? You said this, you're used to eating a lot more, whatever the portion size. How are you hungry?
No, not at all. And before I could go all morning, probably up until lunch without eating anything, knowing that that's not the right way to do things. But it was just, you're so busy in the morning. And so now I'm forced to. But like I said, I have not had a headache. I have not been hungry. And it's because I think it's because of how I treat my lean and green. I treat that like this is it, Tia. This is your food. You've been nibbling all day. This is your food. Even when I changed and did a lunch meal. I did a lunch meal instead of dinner. Normally I just did dinner, but I did a lunch meal, and I was still fine with having my snacks in the afternoon. I'm not hungry. And I took my daughter and my niece to Dairy Queen, and they got their blizzards. And as soon as I got home, I grabbed a brownie. It was my time to snack, and I grabbed my brownie, and I felt like I was eating something sweet right along with them. So again, for me, it's about still being quote unquote normal, even though normal may not be the healthiest. For me, it's about just still living that normal lifestyle and cooking and that kind of. I love to cook, so but even if you don't love to cook, what are your taste buds telling you that you want? And then find it within a lean and green. You don't have to go find it at pizza joint. I even had Subway during my first 10 days. Subway, I had a chopped salad from Subway, but I put my grilled chicken from home in a plastic baggie and put it in my salad on greens. It was like, so I'm eating Subway with everybody else, but it was just, I had a salad with my own dressing and my own meat. So I'm all about trying to make things still stay as normal as possible and not feel like I'm being deprived.
And day 10 and almost 15 pounds off.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I know.
And already helping people.
Yeah, I hope so. But I'm telling you, you guys will hear this same voice at if I lose 1 pound next week. You'll still hear it. It'll still be the same because it's further away from where I was. So I have
it helped me.
Anne Marie said it helped her.
Good. I'm glad.
I know you have inspired a lot of people already. Are you, let me ask you this, are you thinking about coaching?
Well, I talked to Kaylin about that, and I told her, I said, I've only been in this a week. I don't really feel like I'm a coach. And so I will be talking to Kaylin about that. So I'm not sure yet. I want to make sure that I have it down and that but I feel like I do. This 5-in-1 thing, I mean, I completely have just grab the reins on it. So I've talked to Kaylin, and I will continue to talk to Kaylin. So I will definitely think about that.
That's the beauty of the program, is that it is so simple that, I mean, our Dr. A says, as long as you're 1 meal replacement ahead of somebody, you can coach them. So Tia, you already have everything that you need, because this is a perfect example of how we coach as a team. So when you get started, you start helping people, bring your people onto the Zoom call. We will share them. We will encourage them. We all help each other out. So I think you'd be an amazing coach. For me personally, I started coaching because I needed the weight loss insurance portion of it,
Right.
Because just because we can get there doesn't necessarily mean that you can keep it off. And this, when you're a coach, you are 5 times more likely to be successful in keeping it off. So
it's definitely in the brain, let me tell you. So, you may see it soon.
Good. Well, we want to see a big old celebration about that too. So very cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for being on and sharing.
Thank you for asking. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay, so next I'm going to have Anne Marie share, and Anne Marie is a friend in the coaching world, in the client world. She and I are sisters because she and I, and Kaylin, as a matter of fact, we all have the same health coach of our own. So Karen is our health coach, and Anne Marie, tell us your story.
Okay, but first I wanted to say to Tia, I think now when she has that kind of energy is the perfect time to start, because it's contagious. She's got such good energy and she's so excited about it. It kind of brings that alive in me a little bit. So, okay, so here's my story. I have always been basically a pretty thin and fit person without trying my entire life. I had 7 kids and I got skinnier instead of bigger. Most people struggle the other way, but I don't know, it was something in my genetics. And until I hit menopause. And about the same time I hit menopause, my husband and I moved to New Mexico and opened 2 restaurants. He is an artisan bread baker and a fabulous chef. So I put on weight really quickly with the change from where I was to here and opening restaurants. And I mean, you can't not eat. So I put on about 18 to 20 pounds between my just in my upper midriff muffin top, and because I had always been thin and a pretty vain person, I got depressed. I mean, I just felt like, oh, I'm just going to be this fat old woman, and there's no hope. Because I had a trainer. I ran 5 or 6 miles 3 times a week, and I could get a little to come off. But as soon as I would put normal food back in my system, I just balloon right back up there again. So it just felt really hopeless. And I know, I don't have a huge weight loss story, but I do know what it feels like to feel hopeless and not good about myself. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I couldn't wear my clothes anymore, and I really didn't want to go. I didn't want to go shopping for bigger clothes. I wanted to fit in my regular clothes. So about this time, I kept seeing Karen's posts on Facebook, and I've known Karen since before high school. So
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty great to see her on there. Was fun. And then I kept seeing her posts about health coaching and her before and after pictures. And so I messaged her, and from the time I saw her to the time I messaged her was probably about 6 months. But I was watching all that time, seeing her posts, and so anyway, that was in January of 2015, and so I started the program. I lost that same weight in about 6 weeks. So.
And how long had you been trying to lose it before, with the whole killing yourself, exercising, and all that?
Over a year. I mean, we got married in that year, and so I was trying to look good, Just couldn't get there. I could lose a little, but then I just bounce right back up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm so thankful that I saw Karen's posts on there, and that she coached me through that whole time. And I felt pretty hopeless, and I wasn't sure that was going to work. I was pretty sure it wasn't going to work. So and then last year, right before the convention in July, I decided to coach. So I went to the convention brand new, just I didn't have any clients yet. And yeah, so it's been so good to just get to be part of this community. I love that was another thing I wanted to say. Part of my reason for coaching was the self-improvement aspect of coaching, and I've learned so much from the people on these calls, and Dr. Anderson, and a lot of the different people who post things on how to improve you as a person. And so obviously money is a good reason. I needed to earn enough money to order the food, because that was on top of our budget. So within a couple months, I paid for my food, so that made me extremely happy. And then I started pushing myself beyond my comfort zone, and that's not me. I don't I've had a hard time just with self-esteem and confidence and all of that. And so for that reason, I love Take Shape for Life, because it's just full of people who are bettering themselves. And so I don't know what else to say other than
positive and encouraging. Yeah, we kind of talk about it's almost like a self-improvement course that we get paid to take as health coaches.
Yeah.
And when you're always working on yourself, it can only help everybody else around you too.
And if you give something away, you get to keep it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I've enjoyed that part. And I've got a few clients now that are so happy and so excited, just like Tia. I'd love to get them on here.
Bring them on.
They're getting so close to their goal, and being able to see their waistline again, which they haven't seen in 10 years. So that's, you know, being able to help someone like that is, there's nothing better than that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. Does anybody have any questions for either Tia or Anne-Marie? And I've got you muted, so you can either unmute yourself or raise your hand and I'll unmute you.
Oh, I have a question for Tia.
Sure.
I haven't really researched her recipes, but they look so delicious. Do those have cheese on them?
Yes. When I do something with cheese, I back off of my meat. Cheese.
She's frozen.
I can answer this for you too, Anne-Marie. Yes, cheese is on the vegetarian guide. If you guys haven't seen that, you can check. And my only caution with cheese is you need to check and see what it says. If it says 1/4 cup of low-fat mozzarella cheese, a lot of times, and I've seen this in the past with clients, they'll put cheese on their cauliflower pizza and it's like coated in cheese. Okay, 1/4 cup and a big handful are two different things. So just be careful. Be careful with that. But yes, you are allowed to have, you do have cheese as an option for things.
I think what happens a lot of times is that, and maybe let's talk about this a little bit. One of the reasons that I love coaching is that, like I said, it keeps us accountable to ourselves. It keeps us accountable to the rest of the community. And so therefore, it keeps you more focused on your own program. And I love that we get to learn from each other and these kind of things. But I think what happens in the journey of once you get to your weight loss goal, then isn't it true that you're not as uncomfortable as when you first started the program?
Absolutely.
Aren't you? Because you feel so much better.
Feel
So
empowered.
then human nature, it makes you kind of sloppy. And pretty soon you're not eating on time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you may not be drinking all your water.
Mm-hmm.
And you stop weighing and measuring your food, especially when it comes to things like cheese. So,
Right.
For me personally, having lost my weight almost 6 years ago, hold on, let me pull it up and I will show you guys, because I still have found it extremely useful. I have to have my, I don't know, can you see this? Those are my alarm set. That's what I eat. Because otherwise, it's really easy to forget. We get busy, and, it's a good reminder of when you don't do that, and you start, if you're going through phases of you're feeling hungry or whatever, well, when was the last time you ate?
Right.
So that was just kind of one of the fun things of this. I got that tip, and it's funny. Here's the thing. I'm a coach. It's not like I don't tell my clients to do that, but was I doing it? No, because I totally forgot about that. But one of my coach friends was helping me, said, okay, set your alarm. I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that. And now my husband hears the alarm, time to eat again. Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. So it's easy to forget those kind of things. So anyway, anybody else have any comments or questions? No? Hold on. I want to unmute her. Miss Maria over here is going to weigh in at the end of week 1 tomorrow morning. Have you been good and stayed off the scale so you haven't even peaked? Oh!
My husband was hollering at me. He said, I'm calling Trish.
Okay, so you peaked and?
I peaked. And this morning I peaked. It was 7, a little over 7 pounds.
Oh, wow.
7 pounds in your first week. And
yeah.
were you excited?
Yeah.
I guess. I'm so apprehensive that I'm not going to lose. And I'm just like, I'm thinking, oh, tomorrow, watch, I'll go up to 5. But I only lost 5, or, but yes, it is an achievement for me. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I was going to say, and Pam has a comment. Go ahead, Pam.
Go ahead.
My coach told me not to weigh.
So did mine.
And I didn't listen either. And after 4 days of having headaches and kind of feeling,
Yeah.
I've got to know if this is working or not. So I get on the scale, and I had lost 6 pounds.
Woo-hoo.
So it comes up for 3 more days, and I get on the scale, and I still only lost 6 pounds. And I said, what the heck?
It is.
And my coach, Trisha, said, if you hadn't weighed and you got on the scale this morning and you had lost 6 pounds, what would you think? I said, I would think that is great. She said, well, there you go. That's why we tell people not to get on the scale.
I'm going to have Joe, my husband, hide the scale after tomorrow.
That's
But it is, you're absolutely right. I thought at first it would be an incentive. It's not. It really isn't. So I am. After I get weighed, I'm going to tell him, take this. And if I beg, plead, I don't care. Do not show me that scale.
So, Maria, let me ask you this.
Yes.
When was the last time you lost 7 pounds in 6 days?
Oh, the last time I was on a diet was Weight Watchers, and that was 5 years ago.
No, it's not what I said. I said, when was the last time you lost 7 pounds in 6 days?
Oh, I've never lost 7 pounds
Okay.
in 6 days.
And yet you're disappointed.
So, no, you know what? I will tell you this, girls. I'm very impressed, and I don't like to brag, but I'm impressed because I have not cheated one morsel. Not one more. We went out to dinner last night. They ordered appetizers. They ordered the whole schmeal. I did not taste anything.
good girl.
Good for you.
So, yeah. So this is like big for me because I could eat, man. I could really pack it away. And the fact that I didn't touch that blooming onion and the dip, it really did show me that I can do this.
Yes.
It may take me a little bit longer, but I think that's just my metabolism. 46 years old right now. Like Anne-Marie said, I do think it's going to take me longer than in the past when I've dieted. Plus, I've never been on anything like this program. I mean, you are eating.
Right. And here's the thing. Hang on one second, Emery. Here's the thing to remember is that one of the things that's hard for people because there are people who will only lose a couple of pounds in their, a few pounds in their very first week, and their metabolism is just slower, and it's hard when they see the rock stars like Tia. But the fact of the matter is, when was the last time that even those people lost 4 pounds in a week before? So you just got to remember that everybody's going to lose at a different pace. And, it is about a lifestyle change. So that's why I love Tia's food posts as much as her success in her first week, because it's so real. Especially, when Anne-Marie, what you should be doing is having the hubs just, going to Pinterest and updating and looking at those recipes, or going to any of the websites that we use and have him cook for you, because that sounds like a pretty sweet deal to have a husband who's a chef.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say to Maria, when you were talking about being afraid you're going to get on and you will have gained, at the end of my first couple weeks, we took a trip and we went to a family reunion with my husband's family, and they are foodie people. So every meal is gourmet, rich, delicious, really, really, really hard to resist. And I took my food with me, and I would get up in the morning and I would have my morning MetaFast meal. And then I would do really well through the first part of the day. And if they wanted to go to lunch, I would go have my lean and green at lunch. And so obviously I didn't stick to it perfectly. But when I got back home, I thought, oh my gosh, I bet I'd gained 10 pounds. And I lost weight.
How about that?
Once you're into that fat burning, you can eat a few things and not knock yourself off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not suggesting, cheating, but But yeah, I think that the program is really, really great for even when we have, events that we have to go to, we have to eat. As long as we are mindful about what we're eating and eating intentionally, not just what I like to do is graze.
Well, and that's the best way to do it, truly. If you're eating if you find yourself protein, carb balanced, whatever you're putting in your mouth, small amounts, then that's the way. And I tell all the clients from the very beginning, that's how you're going to keep your weight off for the rest of your life. So even when I go on vacation to Mexico, I will take my bars with me and I do the best that I can with the food that's in front of me. And I'll have my beans and tortillas there because I'm in Mexico, for crying out loud. However, because I'm still using my bars in between, I have spent 2 weeks in Mexico and come home and only gained 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is totally doable. And then the other satisfying thing about that is you do not feel out of control. So you feel like you still have a handle on it. So let's talk about really fast because we're running out of time. Our habit of health this week is all about activity. So Pam took care of that, keeping up with the youngsters, and got herself 102,000 steps this week. Holy cow. Look at that. Woohoo!
I walked all day.
You walked all day? Everywhere. You just don't even have a car anymore, do you?
I felt like it.
One of the fun things that I'm doing with a couple of friends is that we have, and you can do this from all across the country, we all have our Fitbits, and we joined, Pam and I are in one of those virtual race things, and so your Fitbit will update automatically, and I am currently marathoning across someplace in Hawaii. Having a great time. They send you at the end of the day, then you get the screen update of this is a stop on the road where you're at now, currently in front of something or other garden. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
I'm in Oz.
You're in Oz, okay. And then another fun thing that I'm doing with a different group of friends is that, and this is a little bit more, because like the virtual one is just fun to participate in. You get a medal when you're done, etc. The one with the girlfriends, also all across the country, involves some serious money. So we all agreed, okay, who wants to do this? The commitment is 25 minutes of activity every single day, rain or shine. And if you do not get yourself out the door and then prove it with a screenshot on your Fitbit, then you got to pay up $25. It's like, oh no. I don't care how tired I am. The dogs need to walk anyway. Let's go, dogs. And so the other night, it was a little late when I got back. The walk, my husband calls. He goes, babe, it's pitch black. Are you ever coming home? I said, I'm working on my steps for the day. But that's, so just think about fun ways to keep moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody have any comments about that?
I have a workout partner, and that it's kind of just an accountability thing. So if I know I have to meet her somewhere, we meet at the gym every morning at 9:30, and we just go to curves. It's not a big workout, but it's a circuit workout, which you get what you put into it. So I think having a partner or an accountability person, which can be your coach, it could be your
right. Yeah, that's what this group has created for us is accountability, for sure. So it's, you can create one of those yourself. It doesn't have to be, let's just say that for me, it was, it was good that it was, this much money at a time, because then it's an extra incentive. If it only is going to cost you $5 if you don't go work out, then you're not going to be like, as committed to it as, okay, I better go. So, yes, ma'am.
My chiropractor's moving down the street for me, which I found extremely useful because I can just walk down there now.
Yeah.
And the nurse practitioner that's been giving me some shots has been just really tired. She's kind of puffy and she wants, So I told her, I said, well, when you move down the street from me, I said, at lunch, I'll come down and we'll walk because they have if they don't have meetings, they have like an hour and a half for lunch. I said, and we'll walk up and down this street because you couldn't walk where she was. It was just too crowded. And then one of the receptionists is also one of my former students. And the other one is the chiropractor's wife. So I said, y'all want to join our walking club? We're going, yeah, that's like fun. So now we're going to start a walking club.
That's great.
That's wonderful.
That's a great way to do it. Accountability is a wonderful thing. Okay, well, everybody have yourselves a great week, and we will see you back next week. Anybody have any final comments or questions? No? Good.
Thank you for everything.
All right, well, thank you, and we will see you guys come back here next Sunday.
We'll be looking for your weigh-in, Maria.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you for your support. I really couldn't do this without this meeting.
None of us could.
Well, we're glad. That's what we're here for.